cowboy knows the road eventually teaches you what matters most. This evening by the riverside, we watch the golden daylight die. Your head resting on my shoulder slow, like the safest place you'd ever known. That old truck parked beside the trees, still covered up in highway dreams. But neither one of us needs to run anymore. Thought about the man I was, lost in whiskey, pride, and dust, searching every neon light for something standing here tonight. Give me one more sunset for the road, one more memory before we grow old, one more beneath these stars, with your hand wrapped around my heart. 'Cause all the miles and lonely years finally let me right here. And if tomorrow never comes, I already found the one. The southern wind blew soft and warm, like a hymn after the storm. And somewhere far beyond the hills, an old train cried, standing still. You whispered, would you change a thing? I smiled and said, just wasting years. 'Cause every wrong turn that I made still somehow led me to this place. Now the porch lights glow back home, and for the first time I don't feel alone. Funny how peace finally appears when a man stops running from his fears. Give me one more sunset for the road, one more memory before we grow, one more night beneath these stars, with your hand wrapped around my heart. 'Cause all the miles and lonely years finally let me right here. And if tomorrow never comes, I already found the one. The sky turned gold and slowly black, like life reminding us nothing lasts. So give me one more sunset for the road, and one more prayer before we go. For every broken soul out there still searching love somewhere. 'Cause every cowboy eventually learns some flames are worth the burn, and somewhere underneath God's sky, love survives the test of time. Yeah, love survives the test of time. Beneath those old country skies.
Textured needed air to breathe. City stress and boss man blues. A little freedom we could use. Window down, let the wind roll in. Let the small town medicine begin. Ain't about getting gone too far, just chasing who we really are. Beer buzz, back roads, headlights cutting through the shadows. Laughing loud where the wild grass grows, where time moves slow. Just a little sip of letting go, a little true nobody knows. Out here, hearts unload on these beer buzz back roads. You talk about your big dream plan, getting out, seeing foreign lands. I said, girl, wherever you roam, I'll be your gravel, you be my home. You leaned your head on my shoulder, said the night felt getting older. But something in that quiet sound said we just found solid ground. It ain't the can in my hand, it's the way you understand. Every doubt I never show melts out here on this road. Beer buzz, back roads, headlights cutting through the shadows. Laughing loud where the wild grass grows, where time moves slow. Just a little sip of letting go, a little true nobody knows. Out here, hearts unload on these beer buzz back roads. Maybe someday we'll outgrow this town, trade these fields for a skyline crown. But no matter where life explodes, we'll remember these back roads. Beer buzz, back roads, where love don't need a dress code, where promises are overloading, stories told. Yeah, if we make it or if we don't, this is the place we'll always know, where we first let our guard down slow on those beer buzz back roads. Those beer buzz back roads. Those beer buzz back roads.
Rain falling slow on an old tin roof. Mama used to say storms tell the truth. I drove all night through Arkansas with tired eyes and a broken heart. Pulled into that old dirt yard where Mama prayed beneath the stars. She opened the door before I I knocked like she knew exactly where I'd stop. Said, son, pain comes to every heart, but God ain't through with you yet, boy. On mama's porch in Tennessee rain, I lay down on my hurt and shame. The thunder rolled, the screen door swayed, while tears fell down like yesterday. She said, love will leave, but life remains, and strong men bend before they break. Lord, I found a little peace again on mama's porch in Tennessee rain. Coffee brewing in the morning light, crickets singing through the night. Mama smiled and held me tight like I was still a little child. She said, your daddy once lost it all, spent 2 whole years feeling small, but he got back up after the fall. That's what countrymen are born to do. On mama's porch in Tennessee rain, I lay down all my hurt and shame. The thunder rolled, the screen door swayed, while tears fell down like yesterday. She said, love will leave, but life remains, and strong men bend before they break. Lord, I found a little peace again on mama's porch in Tennessee rain. That old porch swing still creaks tonight, like heaven whispering everything's alright. On mama's porch in Tennessee rain, I finally let go of the pain. And somewhere in that storm outside, I felt my soul come back alive. Now every road I ride again leads me back to where I've been, 'cause broken hearts can heal someday. On mama's porch in Tennessee rain. Train whistle crying through the dark, like an old soul calling my heart. After mama's funeral day, I couldn't find the words to say, so I bought a ticket westbound line. Just me, regret, and too much time. The conductor tipped his hat, said, son, you look worn down bad. I just smiled and looked away, 'cause pain ain't something cowboys explain. Outside the window, planes rolled by under endless Amarillo skies, and every mile felt like goodbye to the man I used to be inside. On that midnight train to Amarillo skies, I watched my old life pass me by. Every heartbreak, every scar, every lonely smoky bar, and somewhere between the dark and dawn, I realized what I'd done wrong. You can run for years, but truth still finds a man beneath Amarillo skies. I met an old man dressed in black. Said, son, love ain't meant to last. If you spend your whole life afraid of giving all your heart away. He talked about a woman once and how pride made both of them run. Then he stared out at the rain like he still carried all the pain. On that midnight train to Amarillo skies, I watched my old life pass me by. Every heartbreak, every scar, every lonely smoky bar, and somewhere between the dark and dawn, I realized what I'd done wrong. You can run for years, but truth still finds a man beneath Amarillo skies. By sunrise I finally knew some roads only lead back to you. So that midnight train kept rolling slow toward the only love I've ever known. And for the first time in my life, I stopped running from goodbye. 'Cause every cowboy eventually learns what's worth the pain and what's worth the burn. And redemption waits for restless minds beneath those Amarillo skies. Some secrets sleep for years until the right kind of loneliness wakes them up. I came back to the house one fall. The old place barely stood at all. Dust covered every window frame, but somehow it still spoke your name. while fixing boards in Daddy's room. I found a hidden box beneath the wood. Inside were letters tied with twine, and every single one was signed. You wrote about the nights you cried, the times you almost stayed behind, how you loved me through my foolish pride. Even after our goodbye, those letters buried under pine wood floors opened up a heart long closed before. Every word cut deep and true, like a love I never knew I still had in you. And all the years I spent alone suddenly didn't feel like home. Girl, forever lived inside those words, buried under pine wood floors. One letter said you came back once, but saw my truck was already gone. Another said you wore my ring long after we were history. I sat there shaking in the dark, holding pieces of my heart, realizing all this time you never truly said goodbye. Those letters buried under pine wood floors opened up a heart long closed before. Every word cut deep and true, like a love I never knew I still had in you. And all the years I spent alone suddenly didn't feel like home. Girl, forever lived inside those words, buried under pine wood floors. That night I drove through pouring rain, praying somehow you felt the same. 'Cause those letters buried under pine wood floors brought an old cowboy back once more, to the woman he could never replace, to the love time could not erase. And somewhere down that southern road, a lonely heart finally found hope, all because of words preserved, buried under pine wood floors. Some men leave before the goodbye hurts, others stay until the whole world burns. I worked that ranch outside Abilene, trying to bury what you're leaving means. Every sunset cutting me deep and clean, like a knife hid inside a dream. Your old blue dress still hangs upstairs, and your perfume lingers in the air. I talk to ghosts like you're still there. That's a lonely kind of prayer. I'm the cowboy who stayed too long, holding on after love moved on, singing sad songs to the break of dawn, pretending somehow you ain't gone. Everybody says I should move along, but this heart don't know where it belongs. Girl, I built my whole world around your song. Now I'm the cowboy who stayed too long. Last Friday night at Miller's bar, I heard somebody say you'd gone far, with a businessman driving a fancy car, while I'm still here counting scars. But I can't hate the way you left. Sometimes love runs out of breath, and all that's left is cigarettes and words we wish we never said. I'm the cowboy who stayed too long, holding on after love moved on, singing sad songs to the break of dawn, pretending somehow you ain't gone. Everybody says I should move along, but this heart don't know where it belongs. Girl, I built my whole world around your song. Now I'm the cowboy who stayed too long. Tonight I packed your picture away. First time I ain't begged you to stay. Still the cowboy who stayed too long, but maybe tomorrow I'll ride on. Maybe somewhere down the road I'll find peace enough to ease my mind. And if I see you in another town, I'll smile instead of breaking down. 'Cause every old heart must learn someday why some lovers just can't stay. Every town remembers somebody who stayed after everybody else left. We settled down in Oklahoma town, where old brick roads still circle around. lighthouse near the railroad tracks, far from the ghosts that held us back. I fixed engines down at Joe's garage while you work mornings at the local shop. Simple life, simple dreams. Funny how enough finally feels like peace. Every Friday night we drive past the fields beneath moonlight and thank the Lord we survived those reckless younger years alive. I'm the last cowboy in Oklahoma town, still wearing dust when the sun goes down. But now there's love waiting at my door, and I don't ride lonely anymore. 'Cause every hard road finally led to the life we thought was dead. Girl, forever finally came around for the last cowboy in Oklahoma town. Folks around here know our names and how two lost hearts somehow changed. The bartender from Jackson Bar still sends Christmas cards each year. Sometimes late at night we sit talking about all we almost missed and how pride nearly stole away the love we were meant to save. I'm the last cowboy in Oklahoma town, still wearing dust when the sun goes down. But now there's love waiting at my door, and I don't ride lonely anymore. 'Cause every hard road finally led to the life we thought was dead. Girl, forever finally came around for the last cowboy in Oklahoma town. And every scar I used to hide now feels like proof we stayed alive. Yeah, I'm the last cowboy in Oklahoma town, but I finally laid my burdens down, and no more highways left to roam. 'Cause your arms became my home, and every old song still rings true about broken hearts pulling through when love finally turns around for the last cowboy in Oklahoma town. Every old cowboy learns someday nothing lasts forever. Except the songs. Morning sunlight fill the room as she slept beside me smooth watched the years fade from her face, like time finally gave us grace. She whispered softly, "Where are we going now?" I smiled and said, "I ain't figured out." But for the first time in my life, the road ahead didn't feel so cold. Outside that little roadside inn, the world kept spinning once again. But something deep inside my soul finally felt home. This is a country song for the leaving kind, for restless hearts and wandering minds, for every cowboy who lost his way, and every love that couldn't stay. May the highways lead you home someday, before your memories fade away. 'Cause every lonely road reminds, love is hard on the leaving kind. We drove slowly through Tennessee, windows down, hearts finally free. No more running from the past, no more fearing love won't last. The radio played those old sad songs, the kind that helped us both hold on. And somewhere between the lines, we found peace we couldn't find before. This is a country song for the leaving kind, for restless hearts and wandering minds, for every cowboy who lost his way, and every love that couldn't stay. May the highways lead you home someday, before your memories fade away. 'Cause every lonely road reminds, love is hard on the leaving kind. Now every sunset feels brand new, with their hand resting in mine like truth. Yeah, this is a country song for the leaving kind, for all the broken hearts left behind. And if you're listening in somewhere tonight, still searching underneath those lights, just know some love survives the pain, and old flames can burn again. 'Cause heaven writes in old road signs, for hearts among the leaving kind. Saturday night, small town lights, band warming up under neon signs. I came back into town tonight, wearing boots polished up real bright, not looking for a fight with time, just hoping I could feel alive. Then through the smoke and dim lit room, I saw your face across the blue, and for a second all the wounds felt like they were something we could undo. So give me one last dance at Jackson Bar, like we ain't two strangers carrying scars. Let the steel guitar play soft and low, like years ago. And if tomorrow tears us apart, tonight don't let go of my heart. Girl, let's hold on while the old band plays. One last dance before love fades. You said he left a year ago, and every road gets lonely slow. Funny how life circles back around to the ones we thought we'd never know again. I laughed the way I used to do, standing there close to you. And for the first time since you left, this old world didn't feel so cruel. So give me one last dance at Jackson Bar, like we ain't two strangers carrying scars. Let the steel guitar play soft and low, like years ago. And if tomorrow tears us apart, tonight don't let go of my heart. Girl, let's hold on while the old band plays. One last dance before love fades. The bartender smiled when he saw us sway, like some old love never truly walks away. So give me one last dance at Jackson Bar, underneath those lonely country stars. And maybe fate ain't done tonight, maybe love still survives. 'Cause when you lean your head on me, it felt like home in Tennessee. And for the first time in so many years, I danced without the fear. Cold wind blowing through the screen door tonight, old jukebox crying, soft blue lights. I found your picture in a rusted frame, behind the whiskey bottles and the window pane. Your smile still shines like a summer flame, but this old house don't feel the same. The radio played our favorite song, the kind that hurts when love is gone. poured one more just to hold on to the memory I've been living on. These whiskey nights and faded photographs keep pulling me into the past. Every shadow whispers your sweet name, like nothing around here ever changed. I still hear your footsteps down the hall, still wait for your midnight call. Girl, some hearts never learn to let love pass through whiskey nights and faded photographs. The neon signs on Main Street glow, but lonely men got nowhere to go. I wear this pain like an old rodeo, smiling while the hurt still shows. Folks say time can heal a man, but time ain't touched these trembling hands. Since you slipped right through them like desert sand, left me with what I can't understand. These whiskey nights and faded photographs keep pulling me into the past. Every shadow whispers your sweet name, like nothing around here ever changed. I still hear your footsteps down the hall, still wait for your midnight call. Girl, some hearts never learn to let love pass through whiskey nights and faded photographs. If love's a gamble, I lost my last dime. Bet it all on forever one more time. These whiskey nights and faded photographs are all I really got left back. A broken cowboy and an empty chair, still finding pieces of you everywhere. And if heaven lets old dreamers choose, I'll spend forever loving you till the angels fade into the black, like whiskey nights and faded photographs. Saturday night again, neon lights glowing like old ghosts. I found her standing by the bar, underneath beneath that old guitar. Same blue eyes, same gentle smile that haunted me all this while. The band was playing soft and slow, like they somehow already knew. Two broken souls had finally come back to where their story begun. She said, "You took your time, old friend." I laughed and said, "I got lost again." And she reached out and held my hand, like no time had passed at all. Two broken hearts beneath the neon moon, trying to heal what ended way too soon. While the steel guitar softly cried, we held on to what never died. And all the lonely years fell away the moment she whispered my name. Lord, sometimes love returns too late, but still arrives before the end. We danced like rain on southern stone, like two strangers finding home. Every scar and every tear felt lighter with her standing near. Outside the storm rolled through the night, but inside everything felt right. For the first time in so many years, I stopped hiding from my fears. Two broken hearts beneath the neon moon, trying to heal what ended way too soon. While the steel guitar softly cried, we held on to what never died. And all the lonely years fell away the moment she whispered my name. Lord, sometimes love returns too late, but still arrives before the end. The bartender dimmed the lights down low, like he knew some flames still glow. Yeah, two broken hearts beneath the neon moon finally found their way back through all the highways, bars and pain, all the years of endless rain. And somewhere in that smoky room, love bloomed beneath the neon moon. Some roads end where they begin. This morning I stood by the lake, watching dawn slowly awake. You came walking through the light, still the prettiest thing in sight. Years ago I would have run, chasing bars and setting suns. But now the only place I need is right here beside me. The sweet southern wind blew through the trees, carrying old memories. But they don't hurt the way they did. Now they feel like part of living. That sweet southern wind keeps calling me back to every mile we almost lost, to the past, to the love that waited patiently through lonely nights and broken dreams. And every time that breeze rolls in, I thank the Lord for where I've been, 'cause grace has a way of leading hearts back to where they are. The porch swing creaks like Mama's house, and old train whistles still ring out. Jackson Bar still glows at night like a beacon in our lives. We ain't rich, but we got enough, two healed hearts and honest love. And after all those restless years, peace sounds beautiful out here. That sweet southern wind keeps calling me back to every mile we almost lost, to the past, to the love that waited patiently through lonely nights and broken dreams. And every time that breeze rolls in, I thank the Lord for where I've been, 'cause grace has a way of leading hearts back to where they are. Now every sunset feels brand new, with this old world shared by you. Yeah, that sweet southern wind keeps calling me back, not to sorrow, not to looking back, but to the lessons all those roads tried so hard to make me know, that love's the only thing that lasts after all the pain is past. And somewhere underneath these stars, a cowboy finally healed his heart.